Josh Cabaza.
Hello.
How you been?
Good.
Good, man. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Almost 6 years now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite experience so far?
Man, I don't. I have a lot. There's times that my favorite experience is the one that I get to talk about all the time. Like I've got to open up for like Eddie Griffin and work with like really cool people. But I'd say like the bombing stories are the funniest.
Yeah.
And they're the greatest learning experiences. So yeah. You want me to tell a little story?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. 3 months in, I was doing a show. I was doing a 3-minute guest spot. Right? How do you mess up a 3-minute guest spot? And I go,
skill.
yeah, it takes skill. This is at Cine Rey. It's a theater. It's a whole movie theater that they gutted, I guess, and then they put just couches and stuff, and it's packed. About 180 people in there, and I go in. I start doing my 3 minutes, and after my first joke, there's a whole group of lesbians in front, and they didn't like my joke. My joke, I don't remember what it was, but it was a gay joke, and they got up and they were drunk and they started cussing at me. 3 months in, you don't know how to handle hecklers,
yeah.
right? Like at 6 years, you really do, but at 3 months in, I really didn't know, and I started telling them, shut the fuck up and get the fuck out, right? And they come in, the manager, and they kick them out. So I start going into my set, keep going, right? I tell the second joke, and nobody laughs because the tension hadn't broken.
Yeah.
And then I tell the third joke and nobody laughs. And after the third joke, nobody laughed. I'm about to tell my fourth joke and my hand starts to shake and it's uncontrollable. And then my leg starts to shake and then my voice starts to tremble and I turn all red and I'm trying to tell the joke and then I couldn't do it. So I sit down, I'm like, shaking. And when I sit down, I turn over and there's the MC and I go, get me off the stage. And he comes up and he grabs the mic from my hand and I get off the stage and he starts ripping me immediately, a new asshole. And all the audience is laughing. I remember going up through the aisle and it was like slow motion and it was like, as people laughed. And I walk up the aisle and I did so bad that as I'm walking up the aisle, people literally lean away from me like, oh my God, you were so bad, I'm embarrassed for you. And I stood there, I went to the very middle, there was a bar in the middle, and I sat in the middle, and my cousin was there, he's like, dude, I want to leave right now, I feel like vomiting. He's like, no, we're going to stay, and yeah, we stayed for like 2 minutes, I was like, okay, let's go, I'm embarrassed. We left, and I mean, I laugh about it now, then it was like one of the worst experiences I ever had. I figured you could quit, but it made me hungry for more. I'm like, it can't get worse than this.
Oh,
it
yeah.
can't, now that I say that, I'm going to have an experience that's worse than
So where's that place at?
I was in McAllen.
Oh, okay.
McAllen.
So why'd you start doing comedy?
Well, that's a good. Well, I've always wanted to do comedy. I actually lived in Austin right after college, and I wrote for a year, and I would do my set in the Mirror, and then I'd go to the open mics and chicken out, and I'd go back home.
Yeah.
And I did that constantly for a whole year. And then I came to San Antonio. I moved in with my wife, girlfriend at the time, and I still wrote, but nobody knew I was writing. I always said I wanted to do it. And then one night, I was addicted to Vicodin. I had back problems. And I was addicted to Vicodin, and I would pop them like Skittles.
Yeah.
And I had already taken 8 that day, and I got home from work, and I took another 8 Vicodin, and I smoked a big-ass blunt, and I chugged with my 24 like I usually did. And I was also on Adderall, a bunch of, just horrible stuff. And I remember getting up, and my heart skipped a beat. I was like, whoa, that's not right. So I went to the room where my girlfriend, wife, was asleep. And I was going to tell her. Right before I could tell her, I passed out and I fell into bed. And immediately I thought, I'm dead. And I woke up 14 hours later. And when I woke up, I was like, I can't believe I'm alive. And I threw all my Adderall away, all my pills away. I stopped drinking crazy, except vodka. But after that, I was a different person. And I was just like, I felt like I was going to die. And I was like, I might as well try this. And I went and I did comedy here, 2010. And the first joke, my very first joke I ever told, got a laugh. It was a horrible joke. Now I look back at it, but it got a laugh. And ever since then, I was addicted. But again, I worked on it for a year in front of the Mirror. After that, it was 50-50. I'd do good and then I'd bomb. And I'd do good and then I'd bomb. But I was addicted to it. After that, I was like, this is my calling. And I used to get in trouble in elementary school because apparently I would go up, and I forgot about a lot of this. My parents told me, they're like, it's funny you doing comedy because when you're a little kid, you get a lot of detention, and they'd always call us in and say, your son's taking over the class. Because apparently whenever I was done with my work for the day, I would stop and I'd go over from the class and she'd start telling stories.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
I was really disruptive as a kid
Yeah.
too. So it seems kind of like the most disruptive kids are suited for comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I was a quiet kid, but to go up in front of the class and just start telling a story, and everybody would go, what the hell is he doing? But then it became a thing where I was just like, go tell a story, and they'd take me on. So I go in front, and the teacher's like, what the hell are you doing? But, you know.
Well, that's actually how Eddie Murphy got started too. You know.
Yeah, I'm Eddie Murphy. Oh, damn, Eddie Murphy.
He,
Except I can't do voices or sing or act. But,
Ah, bro, you got time.
No, I'm 30. I got plenty of time.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
He started at a young age.
So where do you see yourself in another 4 years? You know, at like 10 years.
I don't know. I try not to think of that because I got a wife and I'm about to have a daughter and I have a son and they're my priority. Thank you, appreciate it. I got a thing on SoundCloud is what I do. And I try to put out, rappers put out mixtapes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, no comic does that, so let me put out mixes as a comic.
Yeah.
So whenever I have a new joke, I put it out there. I mean, nobody knows me, and if they steal it, then, asshole thinks they're stealing it. If it's a famous person that steals it, it's like, hey, that means it's good.
Good, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm doing right now. It's just, I got friends who moved to New York. I got friends who moved to LA. That's right now not in the cards for me. So I got to do something where I feel I'm improving. I got to do something where I feel like I'm putting something out, doing something in comedy.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm concentrating on. I'm concentrating on the daily goal. I mean, of course, 5 years from now at 35, of course, this is my goal. I want to be a headliner.
Yeah.
That means I'll be 10, 11 years doing comedy. So I want to be a headliner, featuring at least all over Texas. And those are small goals. Those I think are attainable goals. Of course, I want goals where it's like, man, I'm all over the country. And this is all I'm doing. I mean, that would be great, but it's really just, I'm more on the craft and wanting just to get as funny as I can possibly be. And little nuances, whether it's the inflection on certain words or how to fix my cadence, how to tighten up the joke. You know, the comic that I listen to most is myself. I record all my sets, and I hear it again and again and again. I used to hate that.
Yeah.
I used to hate listening to myself.
Yeah.
And then I
do
thought,
too.
but then I thought, I'm like, if I don't want to listen to myself, who the hell else is going to want to listen?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I started listening to myself again and again, and now I'm my biggest fan.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, did you grow up watching comedy?
Oh, yeah.
Who were some of your big influences?
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, George Lopez, Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay. I watched all those guys. I mean, as a little kid, I didn't know what. I would laugh because they said dick or fuck or motherfucker, and I thought that was the funniest thing. But just watching them, and my favorite when I was little was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy Raw, Eddie Murphy Did
Raw was
and
great.
every time I go to my cousin's house, I'm like, let's watch him. He's like, oh, we've already seen it. I was like, dude, I don't care. And I'd laugh every single time. So then watching that, and then as I got older, Chappelle was really funny, of course. And now as a comic, of course, Patrice, Bill Burr. There's a bunch of comics I can name that I haven't. Bill Hicks, that I'm like, I appreciate now the nuances that they have, and I really like.
Okay. So you actually you catch a lot of flack for being like a conspiracy theorist. Is that like a real thing? I mean, like.
I guess I call myself a conspiracy theorist. I don't take myself too seriously on that type of stuff. I'm getting my information secondhand from a stupid documentary I watched on Netflix, a book that I read. You know what I mean? That about conspiracies. A YouTube channel that I watch. But now, I watch a spectrum of news. Of course I watch mainstream news like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, but then I'll go to the conspiracy side. As far as David Icke, which is on the far, with reptilians and stuff, and Alex Jones, and I listen to different economists. Of course, the MSNBC guys, the regular economists that you see on there, the pundits. But then I'll watch, Gerald Celente and all these other different types. And it's a BBC. The only one I don't watch is the Japanese news. Because the Japanese news, for some reason, is some straight up bullshit. They talk about how they make swords and so I'm like, that's not news. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're talking about flowers and how to make sushi and swords. And I'm like, what the hell? But Russia Today, which apparently is run by the KGB, and Al Jazeera. So I take a bunch of news, and it's funny, you'll find little patterns where it's like, that's weird that you said that because these other 4 places, or the 4 news stations said the exact same phrase. So it's like there's a main script writer a little bit. But I mean, I take everything I see with a grain of salt. The big thing I see now that as the more and more I watch, I see if they're coming from a place of fear, the fear mongering. The angrier they are, the more they use stupid and you're ugly and this person is dumb. It's like, okay, this is your opinion. I want to hear facts. And so now it's more, I'll try to do as much independent, and that's why I like to stay friends with people who are socialists to people who are libertarians, and just all different spectrums. So I can, you know what I mean? I'm not going to block those people because they have a different opinion than I do. You know, I want to hear that opinion, so because I know that the truths you know are how does it go? I forgot the saying. I was going to be really smart right now, but I forgot the quote I was going to use. So we'll just leave
put
it
it
at
in the
that.
description if you.
Yeah, what was it on the bottom? Put a subtitle.
Yeah, right down there, and you can check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's this about a hollow moon?
The hollow moon theory. Hollow moon theory. Apparently, NASA something hit the moon, whether it was an asteroid or a satellite, I don't know what, hit the moon. Apparently, it rang like a bell, and so people said, "Oh, it's a hollow moon," and that the moon is too large for the size of the Earth. It should be much smaller than it really is. So it doesn't make any sense. And then I did a podcast and I was just messing around. I was like, because reptilians live inside the moon and they're controlling us with different rate. And I was just messing around. I mean, to say that there's reptilians or extra dimensional beings that go into your chakra, whatever it is, what they call me, nobody knows that. But I think it's nice to think in those dimensions. I mean, it's fun to create your own reality. You know what I mean?
It really is.
Yeah. Why have other people tell you, well, this is what it is, and it has to be this way, and this is the only way to think. The definition of saying normal is scary to me. Normal means zombie. It's like we're all different. We're all supposed to think different. We all have different chemical mixtures in our brain. We should all think differently. Yeah. But of course, we're too concentrated on our daily lives and our jobs, which is understandable. I mean, you got bills to pay and stuff. So right now, I mean, I sold my truck and I'm living off that money. I ain't working, so I watch a bunch of bullshit.
Oh yeah. Well, we actually have a couple questions from some of the people who follow us on Twitter.
Okay.
This is from Heavy City Hobby.
Okay.
So he wanted to know how much weight have you gained since starting comedy?
I started comedy. Okay, that's not fair because when I started comedy, I was on, like I said, a bunch of pills and I just quit. So I was 160 pounds. I was skinnier than everybody. I had a big old head and a skinny body. I should be 180, 190. But now I went all the way up to 230.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you don't look like a big dude. I mean, you're much smaller than I am.
Yeah, so my weight fluctuates a little too much. My wife thinks I have a thyroid problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now I'm about 220.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, do you have any advice for like people who are interested in starting out comedy or like any of the new comics out there?
Do it. All your whole thing. I'm thinking about doing this. Shut up. Just do it. Just get on stage and do it. Especially your first year. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Godfrey told me this, and he got it from Seinfeld. He said, every year in comedy, it's like 1 year of age. So if you've been doing it 5 years, you're 5 years old. If you've been doing it 20 years, you're 20 years old. So even though I've been doing it almost 6 years, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still here in San Antonio. I'm still going to open mics. I don't know anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're 1 year old, you're better learn how to crawl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all stage present. Your second year, you start forming your 5 minutes really well. You get a nice chunk. Your third year, your third to fifth year, I would say you start finding a little bit your voice.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I'm still working on what I call my voice. I mean, I've threw away so much material. I have like an hour on SoundCloud, and out of that hour, I would say I would have a nice 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And out of that, 15 minutes for television.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a long road, a long journey. I guess the thing is they say is if you're going to be a headliner, you need to have 3 hours. If you're going to be a feature, you need to have an hour and a half. You need to have 3 times the material in order to do that or whatever you're trying to do.
Damn, because I have 3 times less than what I'm doing because I'm doing hosting spots and I've barely got a solid 5 and they want me to do 15 all the time.
You gotta keep. I mean, right, man. That's all you got to do is write. That's what we do.
Rob Meister would like to know, what is your favorite movie and why do you think it's the best picture?
I don't know if I have a lot of favorite movies, but my movies that I pick are more because it reminds me of something in my life. I love Shawshank Redemption because I saw it so many times on Sundays with my family. I don't know why we saw it as a family, but I saw it again and again and again. Comedies like Delirious and Raw because it reminds me of my cousins. Beetlejuice when I was a little kid. So it's not necessarily they're the best movies. It's just that it reminds me of something.
So they have like the most sentimental value?
Yeah, something with the most sentimental value. Yeah.
All right. Well, did you have anything else that you want to talk about?
Not really. I've been checking me out on SoundCloud. My last name is spelled Cabaza.
Do you have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, I opened up for Jamie Kennedy at that place where I bombed.
Yeah.
I opened up for him the day before Thanksgiving. Tom Rose will be here at New Year's.
Okay.
So that's cool. So that's the next level I'm getting to, is starting to open up for bigger comedians and those guys. I mean, whenever I get to talk to them, try not to bother them, but I do try to soak up as much information as I can. Not like, hey, take me on the road, but hey, here's a question. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, they've been doing it so long, they just start spitting it all out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's great advice that you can get from those guys and learn.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, Josh, thanks for coming out, man.
Appreciate it.
You can check out Josh Friday, November 20th at the Mad Pecker Brewing Company.
There you go.
And, yeah.
I didn't even mention that. What a dick. What shows you got coming up? Why don't you see the Mad Pecker, motherfucker? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, all right.
Where does this go?
YouTube.
Okay, cool.